going on, guys? Your boy GMG. We're back with another video, and this is going to be my first impressions on Horizon Zero Dawn. I do want to say that I feel like it's a bit unfair because, normally with my first impressions, I would talk like about the negatives, the positives, and some stuff I would hope to see further along my journey in this game. But I really don't have any negatives, and it's not because, oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive or I'm just being biased. No, I really haven't encountered anything negative or groundbreaking or a bug as of yet. But when I do come across any of these issues, or an issue at that, I will make a follow-up video alongside some other stuff that I would like to see, or some changes that or how I feel about the game later on, as well as do I feel like this game is worth $60. So just to get right into it, I actually, I would say that Guerrilla Games, I have to like applaud them for this because they completely caught me off guard. Now, I played the game last year at E3 2016, and for a second was a bit like worried because not of anything gameplay wise, up until we started seeing some actual footage of when you encounter quests or missions. I thought the facial expressions alongside of the dialogue was a bit off, and I felt like, okay, that's what they sacrificed for the open world and the vistas and all the challenges and just the content that's in the game. And I was completely wrong, because there is in fact a very deep story within the main character, as well as the dialogue, in which I can find myself truly sticking to Aloy, which is the main character, and I can find myself really kind of drawing a connection and understanding her life, and just just a lot of stuff when you're playing this game, and I actually find myself enjoying her as a character and liking how she fights as a warrior and stuff like that. So that was something that I was worried about. I was worried coming into this game I wouldn't give two shits about the main character, and I would just be worrying more about the gameplay. But no, I really do enjoy her character and just everything she has to go through in this journey. Now, people wanted to know, what's the whole plot with Aloy, what's her whole story? And just to sum this up, she's living in a world of corruption where they resorted into like this ancient civilization, but it's still overrun by these machines which to me resemble like dinosaurs. And as a result of everything, they separated and segregated each other into tribes. She's part of something called the Outcast, where her caretaker, I would just call him, and the guy who trained her as a kid up until now that she's an adult, his name is Rost. They're outcasts, and they're not allowed to have any form of communication with other tribes and groups because it's against the law. Now, she does have some form of communication with specific people, but that's only because either she did some quests for them, or did a favor, or bought or sold some items. And I find it unique because you're allowed to unfold more truth behind her story. And one thing I do appreciate is that CGI in the beginning, which I'm not going to spoil it, because now you understand her character, and being able to play Aloy as a kid allows you to understand, because there's a very difficult quest that you need to complete in this game, which allows you to unfold her background and everything that she's trying to fight for, because she's trying to understand why isn't she accepted in the society. Therefore, you're trained for years on end up until now that you're playing as her in her adulthood, and discovers the dangers as to why she was kept sheltered. Now, I can tell you this right now, I am heavily invested as to why she is not accepted, and I'm really enjoying the game for that reason. You have several things around you that allow this game to become even better, such as the quests that you complete. Normally the quests get repetitive, but I like the voices given in the game, and being that I'm still in the beginning, I can't nearly say that there has been a repetitive sequence, other than the fact that you do hunt for animals and different encounters to equip items and objects, to either craft, to either upgrade the weapons that you have, different skill trees as you level up in the game. All that stuff is great because it leaves room for improvement in the gameplay itself. Now, Aloy is a skilled warrior, and you're able to go into different missions as of what I've been playing, either in stealth. There's some of them that obviously you're gonna have to go in a range of just being brave. Therefore, with the skill tree being at hand, I like the form of customization where I can go in more as a brave character running out in the open, or as a forager where I'm able to have enhanced movements, and as well as going in with more stealth in the customization in the skill tree. So I like that a lot. Now, for some reason, when I played this game in the very beginning, I thought about the movie Hunger Games, because, and for those who didn't watch that movie, you're playing as a female who entered this televised event from a certain district. She's fighting for her district, and I think it's like the fight to the death or something like that. So you enter in this like event, whatever, and you just fight along, and there are years of training basically. And in this game, you're trained from a kid all the way up until you're an adult to enter something, I think it's called the proving, and I think that's from what I know, in order to complete that, you have to go through years of training, and after completing that, she is a step closer to what she's been wanting to find out all these years. So I don't know, that just kind of reminded me of that. But overall, I think the experience is fun. I'm actually enjoying the fluidity of the controls, because one thing I feared was that Guerrilla Games you know, coming off from like Killzone and how clunky and slow paced the controls were for a first person game, them entering that open world RPG, action RPG style, especially third person, I was a bit like, you know, worried, and I thought negative based most of the time. And to be honest with you, they actually executed that feature and the mechanics very well, with when you jump from different objects and other objects, attacking from close range and long range, having different animations. It doesn't really feel clunky at all. It's basic combat structure, and I think actually it fits the whole game itself. And actually the design of how each weapon is used, I'm actually enjoying it a lot. And I'm actually surprised because, once again, I thought it was going to be a bit clunky. I didn't think it was going to be executed this well. Now, like I said, there is a deep story within this game, and as you progress, you will encounter different tribes and groups that may not accept you. You may have to kill off people. You may have to kill off different machines. You can try your best to acquire some of these machines and take over, take control to help you out within whichever fight you encounter. And there's going to be your main missions, which is going to help you unfold more within your background. But there's going to be a lot of risk being taken, a lot of people you're going to have to sacrifice, a lot of lives at stake. So that's something I really enjoy a lot. So this is going to be it for my first impressions, because I don't want to give off the story too much. Just note that there is a lot of content in this game to really help you broaden the experience for a long period of time. This game has, you could put in hours into this game, especially with the side missions and quests that you have. So overall, I think you guys are gonna like this game, and it gives you a little bit of replay value as well. So it allows you to grind out to, I guess, buy and trade for more rarer items, and just to customize your outfits and have different abilities and different options to choose from. So that, as a result, that's basically it for my first impressions. Like I said, I'll have a follow-up video if anything happens, but let me know what you guys think so far. I mean, if you're gonna ask me if this is worth the $60, it's gonna seem biased of me to say yes, because this is only a first impressions, but this is a really good game, and I think we needed something like this right now, because we haven't had a real story-driven game that is very deep. And in my opinion, I think you guys may even like the character of Aloy. You might even enjoy her character. So just drop your comments below, let me know what you guys think, smash that like button, and I'm out. Subscribe again. Peace.
Bands in my pocket, MasterCard color. Yeah, guess a nigga match that. I got the high score up in the gym, you know, nigga match that. Everything I do inside me.